Hello. Welcome to Reading Diaries episode 2. This time around, I'm focusing on reading my physical TBR. I have a lot that I own physically that I haven't read yet. Haven't counted those. I did have an August TBR, but it was like 9 books on my August TBR. And unfortunately, mood reader things, I no longer have interest in like a good percent of the books on my August TBR. I read 4 of those books. All the books I read recently were on my August TBR, and well, except for Paladin Strengths, that wasn't on there, but I just continued the series. I did have Hemlock and Silver by Tim Fisher as well on my TBR, but I decided to replace Hemlock and Silver with Paladin Strengths since it's the same author. Just continue the series. But yeah, I no longer have interest in reading like those books, like Hemlock and Silver. Probably later on in the true autumn time of the year, I'll read that one maybe. But Reading Diaries episode 2, excited to start that one, and hopefully I accomplish what I want to this episode. Basically, I have a few books on my physical TBR. I actually have it right here that I'm gonna choose maybe 2 or 3 this week, which we're in the middle of the week. It's Tuesday, so, and it's already in the afternoon, so like maybe 2 books I'll probably finish in this week, but we'll see. Depends on the length of the books I choose. But on my TBR now, I'm looking at To Sway a Soul behind here. To Sway a Soul, I did pick this one up back in April and May. I got it in the mail. It's very short. It's by Irene Shaw. This one is pretty hefty, like the weight of it, but it's very short. And I love the fan art. I love the character art right here. It's just so pretty. That's one of the reasons why I want to read it. I was like, oh, I like the character art so much. So it's like one that I might pick up, maybe. Very strongly gearing towards this one. Let's put it right here. I just love how it's displayed, and I'm probably going to keep it right here. So this room is basically my hobby room where I read and do puzzles and color and stuff like that. And then I was recently thinking about The Naturals. I've been wanting to read this since last fall, never got around to it. And now that we're transitioning into fall time, I was thinking that maybe I'll just pick it up very soon. I'm kind of gearing towards it. I do want something like thriller, like something with a bit of magic. I don't know if this one still has magic, but I'm not sure. This is more modern day setting though, so we'll see. I'm just in that mood where I want to read, but I don't know what I want to read. So I was like, okay, let's look at my physical TBR. The Geographer's Map to Romance. This one I've been meaning to read as well. It's a sequel to The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love, which was so funny, hilarious, and just sweet. So I'm excited to read The Geographer's Map to Romance, which I know which character it's going to be about. I don't know which lady he's with, but I know the guy. I know the guy that it's about. And like, now I'm looking at it, I might just pick it up. Yeah, it's looking like this is probably going to be what I'm going to pick up first. I don't know. Now that I'm looking at it and talking about it, I just like, I want to read it first. So let's put it over here. Over here is my highly likely. So To Sway a Soul, The Geographer's Map to Romance. Then I have Lore of the Tides, which I haven't done my skim reading of Lore of the Wilds yet, so that's why my need to read it isn't that strong. It's on my August TBR. August is almost over. We have like 5 days left in August, so it's a pretty big book. So if I do pick it up this week, chances are I will finish it, but like the interest isn't very strong, and I'm okay reading this in like early September, mid-September, when it's truly fall time, is when I'm fine reading it that time. And look at the cover. It's basically a fall book, to be honest. So I'm fine not reading it now, to be honest. So let's put it over here. Then I have A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, which, yeah, I do want to read this pretty soon. I do. So over this side it goes. And I bought these 2 recently. The Inmate by Frida McFadden. Don't know what it's about, but it's Frida McFadden. She's very good with her thrillers. Like, they're very fast paced and just, I don't know, the vibes of them are just so cool. Like, they're very typical modern day suburban type of characters, but they are dumb enough that they move the plot line pretty interestingly. So that's why I like reading Frida McFadden's thrillers. Like, the characters are they're so not unnatural to the point that the plot definitely moves along, because they do things that we truly wouldn't do in real life, but it's for the plot. And I love that. So yeah, this was one of my recent buys of Frida McFadden. I didn't really buy her thrillers particularly because it's like hit and miss, not all of them I love. I did love Never Lie, and I love The Coworker. Like, there was one other one one of the ones I read recently I didn't love that as much. And then The Tenant is one of her new releases, I believe. I was gonna read that this month, but the more I read about it, the more I was like, I don't think I want to read it. But this one sounded more interesting, so I picked it up. This one is hefty, so probably not gonna read it, but I did buy it recently. So like a little book called, Arcana Academy by Elise Kova. I read Deal with the Elf King, yeah, and Deal with the Fey Prince, something like that. Yeah, those two I read by her, and I like them. They're pretty fantastical and romantic, so I like those. This is very much like Dark Academia vibe, which I do love Dark Academia. It can be read in fall for sure, but it's a new buy. It's pretty. I like the spine. Yeah, new buy for sure that I'm not going to be reading anytime soon. The reason why I picked it up though was because it's like what do you call it? What do you call a romance? It's like a professor student romance in there, basically. It's not a romance book, it's a fantasy book, but like the whole dynamic between the characters from what I've seen is like a professor and like the mentee. Like, yeah. Mentor mentee. Yeah. It's like a mentor mentee romance subplot in there. And I love that. So that's why I wanted to read it. That's why I was anticipating reading this one. I don't know why I love that subplot so much, but I do. When they're of age, obviously, when they're like in college and like in fantasy settings, like just like a learning from someone that knows magic and they don't know magic or something, or just learning magic. I love it. I would say for sure in fantasy. I love it in fantasy. I don't really read romances like that because I find like just a romance book for the most part, I find it boring. Like once in a while, I will pick up a romance and I'm like, oh, it's so cute. That's just what I needed. But for the majority of the time, romance books are boring to me because there's no magic going on. But yeah, the mentor mentee in fantasy elements, I love that. I love that subplot. So that's why I put this on my TBR and that's why I bought it. For sure, I want to read it, but like anytime soon, no. Plus, my audiobook is not available yet from Lady. I put it on hold, and I think I have 2-3 weeks left, which is perfect. I can read in September. I just want to talk myself through this until I figure out what I'm going to read, basically. But these are on the want to read pile. I think I'm going to pick this one up first. Yeah, we're going to read this one first. Geographer's Map to Romance. All right, welcome to episode 2 of Reading Diaries, where I'm basically giving myself a task reading-wise and doing that. So last time was getting off my reading slump. I succeeded. This time we're going to just be reading physical TBR, basically, because I have a lot of physical books that I haven't touched. I've been reading mainly like Kindle recently, so I need to go back to reading what I have on my shelf. Welcome. Let's begin reading. Hi. So it's the same day, still Tuesday. I decided to do a little update on what I'm reading, which is The Geographer's Map to Romance. I got a bit of progress in my puzzle piece. That's one thing I want to update about first. Great progress has been made, but I also feel a doom, a sense of doom, because I don't know where to put these pieces. They all look the same, especially the upper top part. Everything look the same. The mushrooms, the crystals. It's gonna be hard. I don't think I'm gonna make it in a month. When did I start doing it? I started doing this 2 weeks ago, and I'm only. I can't even give a progress mark on how much far I am. Probably like 15% of the way out of 100%. Um, we'll see. But yeah, so Geographer's Map to Romance. It's all about these two professors who are married, but they got married like a year ago, and then something happened, and they basically abandoned each other. They got married for convenience, but it basically became inconvenient after they were already married. And I guess they decided like, oh, we already got married. It didn't work out. But they never divorced or anything, so they just still are married. Well, it still benefits one of them, I guess, but it's like the whole purpose didn't turn out to happen. But it's India Hilton. Obviously, she's gonna make a joke out of it and make it all humorous, and it's very humorous and nice. The tension is definitely there between them. They definitely have chemistry with each other, but they just basically ignoring that, and like, how do you say, like they're basically just focusing on their whole job, which, well, this one now they're in this town that is having like a magical havoc all around. Like the whole atmosphere, the whole environment is being affected by magic, and there are these things called fey lines where it's basically there's a lot of fey lines in a certain area, a certain town. People are gathering there to see how chaotic the magic is. Like there's flying cows, and there was this one part where this lady was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a flying cow over such and such's house," and this other woman, she was like, "Oh, someone's having steak tonight," and I was like, "What, really?" Why would you say that? But it was so accurate though. I mean, like if a cow flew into your yard, like that's a free cow right there. But still, it's crazy. And there's some weird goats too as well. It's all magical and humorous, and the romance is definitely romancing. I'm enjoying it. I'm only like 76 pages through the book. I'm gonna get a bit more progress today and see how where that goes. But basically, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely not gonna be like a low star rating for sure because the vibes are there. Enjoying it a whole lot. Good afternoon. It's currently Thursday, and I made some progress in A Geographer's Map to Romance. A little bit over halfway, yeah. A little bit over halfway through this one, and I'm enjoying it still. Because I'm over halfway through it, that means I for sure feel confident that I can finish it today. So the goal is to finish this one today. It's been really great. The chemistry between the two main characters is fun. It's great. It's very fun. It's India Hilton hilarious for sure. So I'm really enjoying it. And I've been making great progress with my puzzle pieces, so that's one thing I wanted to update you guys about as well. I filmed almost all the bottom parts down here, so now I'm thinking I'm gonna work on like this window panel that is very easy to do because it's very unique. Otherwise, the mushrooms are not so unique. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna work on today, the window panel part. So I did a lot of progress yesterday. I sat down and was like, okay, let's do this. I literally didn't listen to the book or anything. I listened to nothing. I just sat and worked on the pieces. And I was like, I need to focus only on one thing. And it was great. I enjoyed it. And I'm off today, so I have plenty more time to listen to the audiobook of A Geographer's and After Romance and work on a puzzle piece because I'm going to focus more on reading today than working on the puzzle. But it's been great. Honestly, it's a new hobby of mine that I discovered that I really like doing. Like, I just decided to just do it on a whimsy last year because it looks so fun seeing other people do it. And then I actually became very serious about it. So I don't want to like buy a whole bunch of puzzles and like do them. I enjoy the slow pace. To be honest, I enjoy the slow pace of like trying to figure out putting the pieces together. And my last one that I had, unfortunately, when I had it on the table, water spilled on it, so it got messed up, and I had to like throw it away because it peeled all apart. But the first two that I bought, those are still safe, so I can redo those ones. I actually enjoy putting them back apart and doing them again, but much later when the memory of doing it isn't so fresh. That's what I'm planning to do with this one. This one, I think, it's my biggest one I ever got because the other ones are 500 pieces. This is 1,000, so it's gonna take way more time. But still loving it. I'll show you the progress in my next clip. I'll show you the progress, how it's going. But yeah, I'm just gonna continue reading this one, and I think I might pick up the Inmate by Freedom McFadden have over here. I think that's what I probably will be picking up next. Oh, it's like a green book week. All the books I want to read are green, except yeah, even which is Guide to Magical Innkeeping. It has a little bit of like green on there, green and pink basically. And then This Way Is Soul. Oh, This Way Is Soul does have green on there. Just realized that. But yeah, let's show you my progress on my puzzle piece. So here it is. I think these belong to the fireplace over here, but I'm still trying to figure out how to put them together. But yeah, I did the majority of the bottom pieces. I am missing like, I think it's like a mushroom and then a part of the bed frame I'm missing, but I couldn't find those. I checked in the box. I just can't find them for now. We'll figure it out later on. And then down here, I got all of down here except like this little grass. I do have all the grass pieces around here. I think it was somewhere around here, but I do have them. I just don't know which one fits for here exactly because it's a part of this basket. So once that I have found a grass piece with a piece of the basket, I will know for sure that it belongs right here. But yeah, progress is going great. This chair, I don't know if I aligned these probably because I don't see any piece that has a piece of chair, but also a wooden table. So I don't know if I aligned it properly. I'll have to figure that out much later on. But yeah, I'm being nerdy about this. But yeah, anyway, progress is going so well. So this is what I was talking about. I'm gonna do this part next. Right here on it's like a window. You know those like decorative window panels. It's that. I'm gonna work on that one because the pieces I found all the pieces and it's very easy to put together because it's the most unique part on here. That is the most unique part, and also these crystals. I found all the crystals as well. So I'm going to work on those, and then I basically work on the easiest pieces, and then I just put them all together once I figure out the rest. Yeah, that's what I do. And it works for me so far. So it's been going great. Yeah, so progress has been great on the puzzle pieces. Okay, I just finished reading The Geographer's Master Romance. Very romantic, very funny and sweet. I think I'm going to give this one a 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed listening and reading along with it whenever I got a chance to. It was just so adorable. The Professor Tarrant, Dr. Tarrant, both of them are called Tarrant because they're married. So the whole premise of these two is that they married each other for like marriage of convenience. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but it didn't work out obviously because India Hilton knows how to like twist stuff to the point that it's so hilarious and just you just laugh out loud, funny. Basically, this whole book is just it was so fun. And it was so romantic. Honestly, it was more romantic than the first book, and I thought that was very romantic too. But the chemistry between these two was just it was amazing. I loved it, and I love the whole trope of the guy being more serious than the woman, and that's basically how that's how he was in here. He was very more he was so serious. Even with his sister, when they would interact, they have very similar personalities. It's like a whole thing where how they grew up. But when when Elodie was listening to him talk with his sister, I just find that scene so funny because they were showcasing that they cared for each other, but in a very odd way. Like but it was still so fun. I don't know. I really enjoyed reading this one, and I'm excited to read the next book in the series. I didn't know it was going to be like a longer series, but it seems there's going to be a third book for sure. I'm going to look up what it's about because I didn't read this one yet, so I didn't want to know what the third one is about until I finish this one. But yeah, I enjoyed it, and now I decided to pick up The Inmate by Freida McFadden. Let's read what it's about together because I actually didn't really read the synopsis. So it says the guiltiest people aren't always the ones behind bars. Already interested. So as a new nurse practitioner at a maximum security prison, Brooke Sullivan is taught 3 crucial rules. 1. Treat all prisoners with respect. 2. Never reveal any personal information. 3. Never ever become too friendly with the inmates. I'm already guessing she's going to become too friendly with an inmate probably. So it says, but nobody knows that Brooke has already broken the rules. Nobody knows about her intimate connection to Shane Nielsen, one of the penitentiary's most notorious and dangerous inmates. They certainly don't know that Shane was Brooke's high school sweetheart, the star quarterback, the golden boy who's serving a life sentence for a series of grisly murders. Not one? Murders? Okay, girl, forget about him. Or that Brooke's testimony was what put him there. Oh, it sounds messy. So she's a nurse practitioner, and she's basically knows one of the inmates already because that was her old high school sweetheart, and she's the one that put him in prison, and he committed a bunch of murders, and she's already broken the rules because she treats him with respect, and he knows her personal information, and she's friendly with him because she broke all the rules with him, so that means she's all that. Okay, It says though, it says right here, but Shane knows, he knows more than anyone, and he will never forget. All right, so he knows something about her, and she knows a lot about him. So we'll see. Pretty much Fadden does come up with some good twists every now and then in her books. Her twists, they're really good, but the whole premise of her books are very simplistic. But her twists, I never really expect them to come be what they are, to be honest. So I'm excited to read this one and see how it goes. Good Friday morning. I have been making a good amount of progress in The Inmate by Frida McFadden. Thoughts. I first like reading this, honestly, deja vu with the boyfriend and also War D by Frida McFadden. She definitely has a formula that she uses a ton. I don't know when this one came out. I'm assuming it definitely came out before the boyfriend. That's for sure. It came out before the boyfriend. It's one of her older thrillers, but yeah, I'm pretty sure Wardy probably came up before this one. I'm not sure, but like, yeah, everything that was going on, it just reminds me of both those books, but combined. And I think she basically took some stuff out of those two and switched it up a bit with this one, basically. Or like she took stuff out of this one and switched it up with those two. I don't know. But basically, Freedom McFadden books, they're very much similar, especially this one though. This is the most similar one I've read that it just feels like I'm reading the same book, but the character names have changed and the setting has changed. That's what it feels like, to be honest. I'm not hating it. Like Hallie Hazelwood, that author, she does the same thing basically with her romances, and I've enjoyed them. But yeah, I guess it's one of those, she found a formula and she decided to keep doing that formula, basically. Yeah, so the inmate now, this lady, the main character, she moved back to her old town because her parents passed away in a tragic car accident. And so she's back to her hometown, even though something very tragic has happened 11 years ago with her and these other people. And it's also involving this inmate that she is taking care of here and there because she works in the prison as a nurse practitioner. It's a lot of drama with that. I don't know what she's thinking, working with somebody that like did those stuff. Like I would never go around that. That's like that bad karma. Like I would never. But as her, do it for the plot. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm over halfway in this book so far. I'm almost done. Yeah. I was sitting in bed last night, well, laying in bed because my back hurt real bad. I got a massage with my massage machine and all that, and I was reading it, and it was really entertaining for sure. I kept going, got sleepy, so I watched some videos and fell asleep. But I'm gonna continue today and finish it up. I don't know if I'll be picking up another book for this reading vlog. Of like, I'm definitely gonna continue reading my physical TBR for sure, but I've done what I wanted, which is read at least two physical books off my TBR. So I'm gonna finish this one up, and I'm probably gonna pick up a third, but I won't finish the third. I was thinking of Lore of the Tides. I kind of am in the mood to read it, and once that mood hits, just go with your mood and read the book because it's not always it's not always I get in the mood to read fantasies like that. So I'm gonna just probably pick it up, to be honest, and not go with something that is shorter just for the case of finishing up this vlog with 3 books. I'm just gonna read a third book that I want to read, and if I don't finish it in this vlog, because I don't really know when I want to finish this vlog, so we'll see. So, time to end this reading vlog. I read 2 books this week. Well, not necessarily a week, a little less than a week because today's Friday and I started this reading vlog on Tuesday afternoon. Now it's Friday afternoon. So, I am going to read Lure of the Tides. I did read like the first page. I started the first page. So, no thoughts on that because just the first page. I did skim read Lure of the Wells in preparation for Lure of the Tides because I forgot a little bits of information near the end. I always remember the beginning but not the end of stories. So I read like the last like few chapters. I didn't like read it. I just skimmed through to get an idea of what happened towards the end to refresh my mind to like go back into book two. I think it's only a duology. It's not a trilogy. It's a duology book. Yeah, it's not like the greatest book or anything, but I really love the vibes of it. That's why I wanted to read it around this time period where we transition into autumn time. So I think that's why I'm in the mood to pick this one up, to be honest. Yeah, it is a young adult fantasy novel about this girl called Lore who discovers that she can read this book written by Faze, but the Faze cannot read the book and it cannot get to the magic in the book, but she can, even though she's human, and a whole lot of stuff happened. But like, book two, it should be interesting, so I'm gonna read book two and see how that goes. But yeah, read two books this week, two green books, and even Lord of the Tides is green, and green is my favorite color, so that's a cool thing right there. I enjoyed the Geographer's Map to Romance a whole lot. I would say that was my favorite out of this in this reading vlog. I give that one 4.5 stars. The Inmate Now, it's like a solid 3.75 stars, not necessarily 4 star, because it's really reminiscent of Freedom McManus' other books, and like I don't really like that, to be honest. Like it just felt like she copy and pasted and just changed up a little bit of stuff in there. I was fairly surprised towards the end. I didn't know who did what, like who committed the crimes, and there was a bit of mystery there, which I enjoyed that aspect. But the main character was a bit too dumb for me. Like she was getting on my nerves a whole lot. So that's why it's a 3.75 stars. The whole thriller aspect was good. It was fun. Main character was just not the best to read through, and I like to like the main characters, and when I don't like them, it makes the story a bit harder to read. And I was struggling to read this one a little bit because of her. But yeah, I was fairly surprised, and I really liked the ending. The ending, yeah, I like the ending, to be honest. So yeah, two good reads this week. Gonna wrap up Reading Diaries episode 2. It was fun. I wonder what we're gonna do for episode 3. Probably in the next like 2 weeks or so. I'm not gonna do this every week. Some weeks I'm gonna just be reading regularly with no like goal in mind, just mood reading, and then sometimes I'm gonna set myself a goal, and those would be my reading diaries basically. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next reading vlog, because that's basically what I do on my channel, reading vlogs. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.